What is the song that makes you happiest? But don't forget this. That song is probably something you haven't been listening to lately. A piece you've listened to for a long time. Maybe not so trendy anymore. But one that has found a place in your heart. And sometimes, at the moments you need it most, you open that song without any plan. Why does this happen? Many people describe this as living in the past, as if turning to old songs were a sign of weakness or a failure to move forward. But psychology argues the exact opposite. The pull you feel toward old music is not an unhealthy escape. On the contrary, it is your mind's way of protecting, healing, and bringing you back into balance. If you watch this video to the end, you will never feel guilty about this again, because what we call nostalgia addiction is actually a form of mental strength. Let's explore this together. First reason, your brain turns to the past to protect you. Psychology research shows that when people are under stress or facing uncertain situations, they tend to gravitate toward the familiar. This is directly connected to the brain's mechanism for protecting itself from threat. Think about it. When you first listened to that song, it made you feel something. Maybe you felt happy. Maybe you felt free. Maybe you were remembering your first love. Or maybe you were simply free of worry. Your brain recorded that moment, and when those feelings disappear, your brain searches through its archives. It asks, "Where is that feeling?" And it finds that song. This is not a sign of weakness. This shows that your brain's emotional memory is functioning properly, just like wanting to go home when you feel tired. Old songs serve as a kind of home for you. Life is always changing. Relationships change, people change, and you change too. But that song stays constant. Holding on to something that will not change means finding a sense of security during stormy times. Your brain knows this. You act this way without even realizing it. The next time you reach for an old song, don't feel bad. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? Because that song most likely already knows the answer. Second reason, you want to know yourself. There is a concept in psychology called narrative identity. According to this concept, people constantly construct their lives as a story in order to understand who they are, and music holds on to the most important moments of that story. The song you listened to when you were 15 is not just a melody, it is a voice recording of who you were during that period. That sound, that rhythm, those words, they all tell you, this is who I was back then. The fact that your brain stores this information in the format of music causes it to affect you at a much deeper level. Research shows that music forms much stronger connections with the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. A smell can take you back to the past, but a song allows you to actually live that moment. It doesn't just remind you, it makes you feel it. Now think, what do you feel when you lose your connection to who you were at a certain stage in your life? As if a piece is missing, right? This is exactly why you turn to old songs. Because those songs don't tell you you are actually this or that. They pull you directly into those feelings. This is a rarely talked about, but quite effective way of dealing with identity struggles. When life gets harder and the question, who am I, becomes heavier, open that old song and just listen for a while. Your brain will give you the answer. Third reason, dopamine. Your brain is receiving rewards from the past. This is a rarely discussed truth, and when you hear it, you will probably say, so that's why. The brain releases dopamine when something makes you happy. You were expecting that, but there is something less known. The brain also releases dopamine when it anticipates that something will make you happy again. So even before you open a song, just by thinking about that song, your brain's reward mechanism can activate. And old songs are quite reliable in this regard, because you already know how you will feel when you listen to them. No surprises, no disappointment. The feeling you expected arrives. Life today has become very complicated in terms of dopamine. Something you see on social media can make you happy and then immediately make you feel bad. News, comparisons, endless, incoming notifications. The brain struggles to keep up with all of this. It wants to receive a reliable reward from somewhere. Old music is a point of trust for the brain. While the brain says it can't affect me, it is also saying, this song always made me feel this way. It will make me feel this way again. This is a logical choice. This situation should not be confused with addiction. There is a healthy cycle here. Returning to old songs does not harm your brain. On the contrary, it functions as a way to recover the emotional energy spent in daily life. Ask yourself this question. If you keep listening to a song over and over, it is not just a habit. It means your brain needs the reliable positive feelings obtained from that piece. This deserves to be taken seriously. Fourth reason. Nostalgic music genuinely relieves pain. When I first heard this, it didn't seem very convincing, but research shows it clearly. Articles published in the field of psychology prove that nostalgic moments can reduce physical and emotional pain. The reason is quite simple. Nostalgia activates areas in the brain associated with the feeling of social connection, and the feeling of social connection serves as a natural defense against pain. So when you listen to an old song, you are not just bringing back memories. You are also calling to mind the people, moments, and feelings that come with that song, even if they are not actually with you. This doesn't matter to the brain. The brain perceives that feeling as real. If you turn to old songs when you feel lonely, this is completely natural. Your brain is trying to ease the pain of the feeling of loneliness, and the most effective path it finds is the melodies that made you feel best in the past. This is not a method of escape. This is a scientifically supported way of coping with pain. You don't need a specific justification or permission to do this. You are simply acting naturally. Fifth reason. The time paradox. By going back to the past, you live the present better. This might seem a little strange, but listen. There is a concept in psychology called temporal self-appraisal. This refers to the idea that when people think about their past or future situations, they are able to make more accurate decisions in their present moment, as if looking back at the past provides a perspective that reduces the weight of the present. An old song provides a very natural and powerful way of doing this. When you play the song, you take a step back. Today's problems, comparisons, and pressures temporarily become smaller. This reduction offers you an opportunity to relax. Those who take advantage of this opportunity can often think more clearly when they return, because they have distanced themselves from that burden for a while, and their thoughts have cleared somewhat. Have you ever noticed this? That after listening to an old piece you returned with the feeling, okay, I can continue now. This is not a coincidence. This shows that your brain has renewed itself. This is perhaps the healthiest detail about nostalgia addiction. The past is not just a time left behind. It is a resource used to live the present more powerfully. Sixth reason. Old songs remind you of who you want to be. This is the final reason, and the one I think about most. Think of a moment when a piece of passing music made you feel something. That feeling is usually not just about the past. There is something inside it, a sense of freedom, a courage, a pure happiness, or an intense sadness, and you recognize that feeling. Because that feeling is a part of you. Psychology research shows that nostalgia does not only offer people beautiful memories, but also increases the feeling that there is meaning in my life. This is an important distinction, because meaning forms the foundation of motivation regarding the future. So when you listen to that song, you are not just reliving a memory. You are remembering which feelings are real for you, what makes you feel alive, what you are searching for in life. This is information that most people try to reach in therapy sessions or through long periods of reflection, and sometimes you do this with a 3-minute piece. This is something significant. It is a very deep and sincere method on the path to understanding yourself. Now stop and think. Which old song do you want to listen to today? And what does that song remind you of? The answer to this question may express far more than you are currently thinking. Now let's bring everything together. Returning to old pieces is not a weakness. No, it is your mind's effort to protect itself. You are showing resistance to not losing your identity. You are searching for reliable happiness. You have the ability to reduce pain. You can use the past to live the present. You want to remember who you are, what you feel, and what you desire. All of these are natural functions of a healthy mind. Has anyone ever told you you're stuck in the past? They probably have. Maybe for a moment you believed it, but science says something different. Nostalgia, when properly understood, is a mechanism that does not weaken a person, but rather strengthens them. Returning to the past is not about being unable to move forward. It is about taking good care of yourself, and you already knew this. You just needed someone to confirm it. You don't need to give up the habit of listening to those old pieces. But next time, understand why. It means you are using a powerful tool to know yourself. If this video touched something inside you, or made you say yes, exactly like this, subscribe, because this is exactly what we talk about here. We address how your mind works, how these patterns protect you, and how you can understand them, without judgment, without complex terms, only openly. See you next time.